to Ask Moms podcast.
Welcome back to Ask Moms. As we always remind everyone, we are not professionals, but we can share our experience and remind you that you're awesome. However, if you feel you need professional support, please reach out to a qualified medical expert.
Yes.
Now, we're talking all things motherhood, the good, the tough, and everything in between. And today's conversation is a slam dunk. We're thrilled to welcome Brenda Rhodes, Executive Director of the Breakers Basketball Club and Bracebridge's Deputy Mayor and District Counselor, to talk basketball, kids, and community. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you so much
welcome.
for this opportunity.
So I guess before we get into anything, my first question is, how do you have the time to do all that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I get that question a lot, and it's because it's important.
Yeah.
And I think that's the bottom line, right?
Aw.
And so make time and
Yeah.
make it happen, and we need people to step up and do these things. So you just do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
doing all that. So maybe tell us a little bit about your coaching experience and the program that you're helping to manage. And then we can maybe go from there.
Sure. So I think within the basketball world, it started when I was small, and basketball got me to a place that I probably wouldn't have gotten to without it.
Really?
I wasn't the strongest student, and so sports, and specifically basketball, got me confidence and moving along in my life, got me to college because I wanted to play in college.
Nice.
And then when I moved back to Muskoka, I wanted to be able to give back and provide those opportunities for other kids. So
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
I think it's important in our community, any sport,
Yeah.
but obviously basketball is a little bit closer to my heart, but I played everything. So
And a good example already is if you want to do something, don't give up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
drive forward.
And there's
Yeah.
ways to do it, right? Not being the strongest student. I found that in college, but the sport got me there, or whatever you're good at can get you to those spaces that you want to be in.
And having the right mentors and coaches, too, probably made a
Absolutely.
world of difference
Yes,
for you.
that we're always pushing, saying,
Yeah.
you know, you need to do a little bit better with this, and, you know, this is the reward. You get to play, but you need to still be pushing in the academic world.
What a
Yeah.
great way to help
Yeah.
build your
Absolutely.
confidence, motivation, and I
Absolutely.
love that.
Yeah. So then I got into coaching a little bit, and then as the role grew bigger with the deputy mayor role, I decided to step back from that coaching space, but I still sit on the board and help create that space for the kids and the
So
coaches.
what would you do on the board? Like what let me ask, so who's on the board and kind of what's happening? Like what are they working on? Like what do
Yeah.
we have to look forward to?
We have a phenomenal board, just amazing people that have kids in the program. We have a rec director, we have a jersey and uniforms person, we have somebody that's working on sponsorship, we have somebody, our technical director, who is phenomenal and just helps support all the coaches through everything. And our admin is wonderful, just our whole team. And then we have directors at large that are doing so much. The display case here at the MLCC, or, little things that, we're lagging before. We just have so many great hands. We always can use more. We need that financial person. So if there's anybody out there that's
Ooh.
interested in that piece, we'd love to.
And how
see
about
it.
like media? Do you need somebody to help with media, things like that? Or you
Sure,
good?
yeah. We have a main director for events and media, but we do need that help, right? The more hands, the lighter
Yeah.
the work, and the more we can do for the program.
And somebody to slice oranges.
Yeah,
And I could go, yes, go and get them.
from the side.
What I'm hearing is that basketball isn't just about building skills, it's really about building confidence.
Absolutely.
That helped you.
Yeah.
So it also gives kids that safe place to make mistakes, learn from losses, and keep showing up even when things feel hard, and that's tough. So with all of that in mind, what's a lesson basketball teaches kids that they don't even realize that they're learning?
Oh, there's so many. And our kind of tagline is that we help develop youth into responsible citizens. And that's kind of
Nice.
our mandate, along with getting as many kids to play the sport. And so it's life skills, but it's also the health and wellness skill, right? Being active, the mental health capacity of it all, the leadership, the autonomy, those skills that you need later on in life.
Yeah.
You're putting those in your tool belt as you're in this. In
But
the
you
sport.
don't realize
No,
you are.
you really don't. Yeah.
And this is a sport that makes nutrition cool
Absolutely.
and electrolytes
Orange slices.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eating healthy foods, right?
Yeah.
That fuel your body properly when you're playing the sport.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're going to perform better, and then if you do that test and eat something crappy, you'll see.
Yeah. And then, every once in a while when you do have those little things, you're going to burn it
yeah.
off because you're active and you're out there,
Yes.
playing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I need to start playing
was
basketball
thinking-
immediately.
I was thinking the same thing. Okay, so like parent and support systems. So this can be a wonderful experience it can also be really challenging.
Yes.
So any messages that you wanted to communicate to parents, like from a coach's seat, what do parents do that help, and what are things that you could suggest that parents don't do?
Absolutely. So we'll start with the helps. Obviously, getting your kid there prepared on time is a huge piece, and that's not a small piece, right? With our rep program, they are traveling across Ontario to play in these tournaments, and they're, it's a lot of time and effort that goes in there. Volunteering to be a manager for the team and helping organize so that coach can really focus on the floor and what's happening there, and the managers, doing the reservations for the dinner, the team dinner out, or getting the hotels, or helping with that booking of the tournaments. That pulls that stuff away from the coach. So those things are important, being that part of that team in a different sense.
So how would parents reach out for that then?
They can email us at smuskokabreakers@gmail.com. Obviously, our websites are really great websites. You can hop on there, or social media. You can contact us anyway, and we'd love to have those conversations.
Awesome.
And then when we're talking about the don'ts for parents, or maybe it is a do still, but give your kid the autonomy, right? Make sure that if something is happening with the coach or with a teammate, that they are having those conversations. Giving them that space to grow and have those hard conversations with coaches is important. And letting another person coach your child is so important.
Oh, yeah.
And so we sometimes
advice.
feel that, parents can get a little too involved, and we always welcome them to be watching practices. But as those kids get older, let's step out of the gym and let them have that space to learn, grow, and
Be individuals.
Absolutely,
Yes.
and create
Yeah.
those skills for themselves that they're going to need later on in life.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's,
Well said.
Yes. So I have to talk about the one thing that whenever I have an opportunity, I talk about the podcast about supporting kids. So we had this podcast, and it's about different things to support kids. And I teared up because I coached for many years, but I coached softball, right? And I noticed many, many times kids that are really not sure of themselves, or they make a mistake and they feel really bad, and they're standing by themselves,
Yes.
and they're just, you could see it's just eating them. So one of the things we suggested was, if you see someone like that, for parents out there or coaches or other kids, if you see someone standing by themselves and they've just had a hard time or whatever,
Yeah.
you don't even really have to say anything to them. Just go and stand beside them and just kind of like, a
Absolutely.
little,
Support.
like it's okay, like a little nudge or something,
Yeah.
that they're okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not alone.
You're absolutely right. And it's maybe a little bit different than baseball. Baseball's still, it's a team sport, but it's still that more individual. So you can be standing alone, right? Basketball, you are on the court with your team, and our coaches are very good at making sure that narrative is that we're doing this together. You missed that basket. Okay. We as a team need to come together and rally together to either get up in the scoreboard or defense or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
That's a really important message that our coaches really try to instill, that, you're not only you out here,
Yeah.
and we need all of you to be, even if you're sitting on the bench, to be participating and cheering, and you're an important part during practice, all that stuff to make
So
sure that
empathy and
Yes.
compassion, team building,
Yeah,
Yeah.
self-confidence,
Yeah.
and it's not just on you.
exactly.
So many these good attributes. again,
Life skills,
right?
and I love
Thank you.
learning them and not knowing that I'm learning them.
Well, yeah,
Developing
and-
that, and then
and-
all of a sudden you're confident and you can go do a public speech in front of your class, but you don't know why.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's fun watching these kids, when they first start out junior MBA or their first year of rep, and then seeing how, they may be a shy kid on the
Yeah,
court, and then,
yeah.
then seeing them take that control on the court as they get older, and being able to take that space up, and may still be shy off the court, but, in that space, they're
Yeah.
able to shine in that way. It's really a lot of fun. to
Even
see.
you see the kids, just the ones who always had their head kind of down, and then slowly over the years, or even at that season, they're holding their head up and shoulders maybe go back a little bit more.
Absolutely. And
The
knowing that their
knowledge,
team's
the
there.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All that confidence building.
absolutely.
So, that's great.
Let's talk about the community impact. Community sports matter so much right now because they give kids that safe place to belong, right? It's positive mentors to look up to, and like I said, that safe space where they can grow and feel supported. So with all of that in mind, what do kids gain from community sports that they may not get from anywhere else?
And, we talked about those life skills, right?
Yes.
We talked about that support for coach and being in that team, at
Yes.
home might not be a safe space all the time, right? And so having these spaces where these kids can come into,
Yeah.
whether it's the library,
Right.
whether it's a sport,
Yeah.
any of those spaces, and you nailed it on the head, is having those positive role models
Yes.
is so
Yeah.
important for kids to see that there is something different out
Yeah.
there.
That what maybe their home life or their life in their classroom isn't all that there is to be. Or sitting on your school bus every morning,
Yeah.
you're stressed and this is your world. Nah, there's a better place.
And there's that can be a vehicle like it was for me
Yeah.
to get you out into a world that maybe you would not be able to accept. It was very powerful for me, and I think it can be very
Oh, I'm sure it's
with our kids.
powerful for a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so tough questions.
No matter how you can play, your skill level or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
that's why we have a rec program too, and we're in the midst of trying to tweak that a little bit more to just really get kids playing, right? And it's not about necessarily women, but we want to create that space where they can play, maybe learn a little bit of skills, but really get into that play and maybe a little bit more mirroring, a hockey rec system where you may go to a tournament here or there outside.
Yeah.
It just gives you that experience. We had played around a little bit with just interplay
Yeah.
with our teams, and we
Okay.
think it needs to be a little bit bigger than that for
Okay.
kids to have that space to literally play. It's a game. Let's
Right.
play
So
and
how many
have
kids,
fun.
we have more teams than we've ever had in our existence as South Muskoka
Wow.
Breakers. And so, that's a testament to the board. The board has really, like I said, come together and helped grow the program. And so, we're always sourcing out gyms, and we really have a big program. And focusing on girls, too, where our girls weren't really getting involved in basketball, which is heartbreaking for me to say.
Yeah.
Focusing on that program to make sure we have spaces where they're comfortable to learn and play. And we have a U15 team that is very green, but they are having the time of their life.
Wow.
And
Nice.
really just doing an amazing job. out
That's
there.
so cool. Now, that would be what would have held me back because I knew nothing about basketball and I would have no self confidence and my skill level would be non existent. That's still okay then.
Absolutely. And our coaches are really great with that, building that team. And I think for girls and women, that team piece is
Yes.
really a huge piece for them,
Girl
right?
power.
I shouldn't say, leave the boys out of that, but that is a big space for them.
Yes.
And then the skills build upon that once you build that trust in that team. And so we're trying to build those spaces. We had a girls' night out where we had over 100 girls from littles to bigs in the gym, old coaches or people that played in college or university, all came in and we had a night out that was just so fun playing basketball and a little bit of pizza, and it was a really great
Wow.
experience.
Oh my gosh,
Nice.
what great bonding
Yeah.
and girl power. I mean, I know great for the guys too, but it's kind of been lacking in girls,
Absolutely.
through the centuries.
And that competitive piece, we're not seeing those girls that are, they're a little bit more shy or hesitant maybe.
Yes.
That's not the word. And so, the boys, they want to compete in there, and
Their
that's
nature.
amazing
Yeah.
to see. But
Yeah.
it's the girls that we need to foster a little
Yeah.
bit.
Cool
Yeah.
to see them next year or like as
Yeah.
they progress, right?
Yeah.
And even if you don't end up being the superstar or whatever, so what?
Yes.
You're contributing in your way and still building all the skills and confidence and empathy and team.
You were talking about kids being shy and not knowing how to play and whatever. So I coached T-ball one year, and there was this little boy, and I'm not going to say his name because a lot of people know, but there's this little boy, and he hit the ball, and he would just drop his head down, and he wouldn't do anything. So he would literally go, "Come on over, we're going to go to first, hit the ball in third," or But he had I don't know what the challenge was, but he was crying, and he was very, very shy.
Oh dear.
Years later, I saw this same kid playing hockey, and he was a defense person. He was right in there, strong player. And I said, "Wow, that guy's really good." And my husband said, "Do you know who that is?" Same guy.
What a
Amazing.
great story.
Different sport, but just from, and I know that he kept up in sports his whole life. I kept seeing him here and there. So I believe 100% that it really, really makes a difference.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And kids develop at different times, right? And so having that patience
yeah.
and like I said, one of our mandates is trying to get as many kids playing. And that includes our rep teams, right? You earn your spot on the rep team, but we want to see as many kids playing. And, it may be somebody that's just there, but, next year they take that huge step. It's just something clicks for them. And all of a sudden, they're that player, right?
And the rep team
goosebumps.
too, in my mind, a rep team too is important. I want to kind of kill one of the stigmas about reps, that we're better or whatever.
Yes.
I don't see it that way. I see rep teams, they need to be challenged, right?
Yes.
And when you come up to a skill level, even if you're getting in basketball or whatever the sport is, you don't want to get bored either. So if you see kids that really need to be challenged and you can make a team, and it's really exciting for people to watch too. So it doesn't take away from the other kids. I think that it comes to different stages of strengths, and they just need to be challenged.
Absolutely. And really, do they love that sport that much? Because they are playing. They're practicing twice a week for us. They're away on weekends with tournaments, right? That's taking them out.
Yeah.
And that's a big commitment for a family also.
Yeah.
So, it's those choices that you have to make to play at that level.
Right.
And you're absolutely right with your thought process.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
is so cool. And also I'm thinking, when you're at school, say you're that shy kid and you don't have anything to do, recess, lunchtime, whatever, go get your basketball
Yes.
and go practice.
Oh, good idea, Kim.
Yep.
That's exactly what I would do.
And they have those indoor balls now, too, that don't make sound when you bounce them, as long as
Oh,
mom
no
and dad
way.
say it's okay to do it in the house, right? And you can be practicing all the time if
Perfect.
you want to.
So I wonder if that schools could promote something like that. Like maybe kids would want to do that and just don't know that they can do that.
One of our programs that we're going to be doing a camp before we go into summer, which we've never done before. And when I say camp, we do camps usually in the fall. That's just pulling everybody together so we see the players and what's going to happen. But we're going to do it before summer, and then we're going to give them programs saying, hey, this is what you can work on over the summer.
Awesome.
And then,
That's a great idea.
You can come back to us, and we'll see you in the fall, and
That's a
we
great
can be playing
idea.
again. Yeah.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah. So I had a question about kids that were in the program, especially kids that are in the program, you can see potential and they want to play, but they want to quit.
We try to. We try to find out. We try to have conversations with the parents and the athlete, and also the coach, right? How can the coach foster this conversation? And maybe it's he or she is feeling a little bit separated from the team, or how do we bridge that? How do we help them?
You call me, and I'll go stand beside them.
It's really important, though. Good question.
Yeah, because seriously, that could be a fraction of a second
Yep.
where kids say, well, I don't want to do this anymore. But something happened, and they love it, and they
What
really
made
do want to
them
do it.
feel that?
But then they don't forever. Like,
My gosh, that's a big responsibility.
It is.
Thank you for doing that. And remembering back to what really got you through different parts of your childhood. And same
Yes.
thing, sports.
Sports.
Knowing that I could get out and play baseball.
so we played basketball, we skated, we played road hockey, like all those things.
Yeah, we
it's
did
very
too.
important.
And that play outside is important, right? Our program's a little bit more structured, but that play outside, unsupervised play is so important for these kids.
Mentally.
Absolutely,
Yes.
right? Yeah, when we were young, we would move into neighborhoods, and the comment would be, my kids didn't really go outside until your kids came to the neighborhood. My parents would be like, oh, no, you're outside, right? And
Yeah.
that was,
That's true.
with
That's
3
true.
kids, they were like, okay, you need to go run it off,
Definitely.
right? And it was so important
It is.
to learn those
Yeah.
skills, right? Negotiating between each other and figuring out how to navigate everybody's, everything. It's,
Yeah, we did the same thing. Every day we're outside playing something.
Sounds like basketball has a funny way of teaching kids confidence. So they show up thinking they're learning a crossover, basketball term,
you
right?
nailed it.
And somehow leave learning how to bounce back. I've got a couple questions for you, if you don't mind. Quick fire questions.
go.
What is your funniest coaching moment?
I was the U10 recreational coach with 20 boys in the gym. And you can just see the picture, right?
The energy.
The energy and
yeah.
the balls
Yeah.
flying everywhere. And we were actually in a small gym too, and so it was really
Oh,
confined.
yeah.
And just seeing those kids trying to get those skills, and just there's so many in that, but
Yeah.
you just can you can picture it, right?
Yes, I can.
I love that.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
Bouncing off the top of
yes.
their head. Or,
Yeah. And if nobody gets hurt, it's a win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to keep it going, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
next
Right.
drill, next
Yeah.
drill, let's
Yes.
keep this going.
Oh, good for you.
Shake it
Whoa.
off.
And it was so fun. It was rewarding, right? To see
Exactly,
them nail
yes.
that skill, or that progression throughout the
Yeah.
year. So it's
And the pride.
Yes.
Even if they're trying not to show it because they're trying to be cool,
Yeah.
right? Just you can see that little.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely the smirk, or
Total
the
win.
swagger
Yeah.
that comes
Yeah,
from
yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. One word that describes the whole breaker.
Inclusive.
I love that.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, and a moment that reminded you why you coach. You probably have a bazillion moments.
Yeah. I know what it meant to me, and providing that for another kid is important to me.
You want to play it forward.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
Muskoka's great. Bracebridge is great, but I want them to be able to go away and then come back like I did. Right?
Yeah.
You need to see that world. You need to experience it.
Well, we are really, really, really lucky to have you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for being.
Yeah.
And I also, watching you, I can also tell that I'm sure you're motivating other kids as they get older to become coaches.
Yes, and that's one thing about our program. They recycle. So we've had kids that have gone away and then come back and they want to be coaches and they're helping in the rec program. And, we're trying to move them maybe into rep, coaching. And we have great supports with that. Our technical director is amazing. We have some senior coaches that have really great experience. And then all of our coaches are inclusive and talk to each other and try to support each other and help each other out. And so it is a really great environment to coach in. Everybody gets busy, but it's still great. And like I said, our technical director just is on it, and she will, provide you with anything that you need to make sure that you can.
Sounds
can
like
be
everybody
successful.
complements each other.
I was going to say like a really well-oiled machine, but
Yeah.
more a family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
And
a
that's
team.
why these volunteers stay for years. You're comfortable and you see the results.
Yeah.
And the team's
Yeah.
working well, right? And so
Yeah.
keep going.
That's
It's
so
so
cool.
rewarding for you too, as a volunteer.
It is.
So if kids or parents take one thing from this conversation, what do you hope that is?
I hope it's basketball, but if it's not, whatever sport, share that together and continue to do it throughout your life.
Awesome.
I appreciate your openness about whatever sport that is.
Yeah.
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 We believe in multidisciplinary sports, right? Like
Yeah.
kids should be playing a bunch of different sports for their own development, physical development, but
Yeah.
also to find what they excel in.
Not everybody has that family support that allows them maybe to try these different things at home when they're growing up, right? So if they can through school and through you guys, it's awesome.
Good point. What if kids can't afford to play?
We have the Jumpstart program.
So
to
you're
help.
connected with Jumpstart?
Absolutely. And we also have payments. So if you can't pay that lump sum up front, we can do a payment program. We will work with a family. If a child wants to play, we will work with you to make sure that you can get on that court.
They get that opportunity.
Yeah. If anybody's interested in coaching, we do need coaches both at the rec and the rep level. Again, we're still trying to grow, and the more hands we have in helping the kids, the better. You just need to know basketball. You don't have to be a student of basketball, but if you like basketball, we have the tools to help you get there, especially with our rec program. It's just about being in the gym, being a positive role model for the kids.
To the parents listening, thank you for showing up, cheering on, and trusting the process. Your support matters more than you know. And to the players, remember that every practice, every mistake, and every small win is helping you grow.
Amen.
Yeah, not just as an athlete, but as a person. And to our guests, thank you, Brenda,
Yes, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
the time, heart, and dedication you give to coaching, to being involved on the board, and to our community. Coaches like you make a lasting difference long after the final buzzer sounds. And thank you for tuning in. Please connect with us at askmomstoday@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube, but also on Hunters Bay Radio 88.7 on the dial or www.muskokaradio.com. As always, we hope we've helped you feel empowered, heard, and supported. And please remember, moms, dads, kids, whoever, we know you do your best. And you're not alone. So until next time, please take care of yourself and others when you can.
You've got this.